Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the February meeting of the Mountain View Computer Users Group. I'm John Viero, the president, and we do have some new people who are here, which I think is great. If you are new, please raise your hand. Fantastic. We have your names, please.
Oh, I'm Gloria Graff.
Okay, and sir?
Hugh Mark Frazier.
Okay. I see one of you is a Windows. I can't tell what the other one is. What platform do you use, ma'am? Windows? Okay. What about phone? Android, iPhone, Samsung? Oh, good. User?
I have no further idea.
He's so hitter, but I make him come.
Good for you. Okay.
It's Windows. This is my home one.
He's using Windows.
It's an iPhone.
We do have a sponsorship program. We have one sponsor right now. We're hoping to get a few more. The sponsorship program is $10 a meeting, $100 a year. You get a slide during the presentation and me talking all about what you do. Your meeting video is posted on our YouTube channel, of which we're starting to get a lot more people viewing. I don't know who they are, but we're getting a lot of people viewing. And you can mention the link on our Facebook page. Okay, there she is. Our sponsor this month is none other than our own candle lady, Carolyn McLean. The February fragrance for Valentine's is Apricot Blossoms. Now, I have not smelled this one, but I have smelled Apricot Blossoms. It is one of the most wonderful fragrances out there. That's why I no longer have an apricot tree, because I would just freak out over it. For St. Patrick's Day coming up, Bella's chocolate dipped strawberries. Are you serious? No, I don't want any of these anywhere near my home. I'll never get Jane out. Pumpkin spice was bad enough. If you're looking for a really good gift, these make tremendous gifts. They seem to last forever. The scents just don't disappear, at least not that I've ever experienced. They might, not that I've ever experienced, and they're very reasonably priced. Okay, moving right along. Today's agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about MVCUG business, tips and favs, timely tech topics, and a Q&A. And then this month's Getting the Most Out of AI Assistance. It was originally titled Prompt Engineering, and it's actually changed a bit from that. What I'm going to do is show you how to use an AI the best way. So you get productivity out of it, you understand how to use it, and you're going to be very surprised by how it's done. And I won't get too much into it right now, but the workflow is not what you expect it to be. So I really enjoyed putting this one together. I had fun. You guys couldn't tell. Okay, next month is the one that Mike has been waiting for. I'm going to attempt in 2.5 hours to explain how the internet works. There will be a staff of thousands here watching me do this. It is going to be recorded and played back because no one thinks I can do it. Believe it or not, I think I've got it down. The hardest part I'm having is explaining IP. The internet is layered, but there's one layer that the only way I can describe it is it's magic. Because if you explain it the way it does work, you're going to put me in a nut house. Am I correct, Mike? There's no way IP can actually do what they say it does. Okay, and then we have...
Oh, but don't forget, it's also Pi Day.
It's Pi Day, 3.14159.
Special treat.
Yes, bring in pies. The April meeting, April 11th, spam and scams. What we're going to do is talk about some of the scams out there, how to avoid them, how to report them, how to find out if something is real or not. Like, I'm sure that many of you have gotten the Publishers Clearinghouse. What you do is you get a phone call. They say they're from Publishers Clearinghouse, and you've won $1.7 million, a Mercedes-Benz, which is a scam, by the way. Well, we're going to give you the number to call Publishers Clearinghouse to find out if, in fact, that is legit. I asked the lady when I called them up, trying to check on this one. She says, please give our number out. She says, we get over 100 calls on this scam. People are good. They're very, very good. That should be an interesting meeting. And then in May, Mike is going to cover, and he doesn't know it yet, security best practices, passwords, passkeys, etc. By the way, just passkeys are good. If you are offered the option to create a passkey or generate a passkey for a site, passkeys are far more secure than anything else out there because they use biometrics to know if you're you. If you have an iPhone, it looks at your face and says, is this you? Yes or no. If it is not you, then it won't let you in. And yes, since iOS 26, I don't know if you knew this one, it now can detect if you're alive or dead. So if they try and hold the phone up to your dead body, it won't work. If they hold up a photograph of you, it won't work. Timely tech topics, everything you didn't know you want to know. what's happening this month. And we got some big announcements. First off, this was a major announcement that just everybody. Apple releases Creative Studio. What it is a bundle of software packages that includes for video, Final Cut Pro, an industry standard for video, Logic Pro, an industry standard for sound, Pixelmator Pro, a brand new app that Apple bought that rivals Photoshop, Keynote with enhancements, Pages with enhancements, Numbers with enhancements, a new version of Freeform, which will come out shortly, Motion, which is a special effects generator for video, Compressor, which is a way of compressing videos. I had never used Compressor before because I didn't understand what it actually did, and I finally used it on this last month's video. It reduced the time to generate the final video from an hour and a half to 15 minutes. It was done so fast, I thought I had done something wrong. And then another one, which is called Mainstage, which I never even heard of. It's a recording studio, an audio recording studio for generating live recordings. It's 10 applications, 6 pro apps for content creators. And I was just going through those 4 productivity apps. Do we have the price? This is the shocker. By themselves, those come up to almost $1,000 if you were to buy them. $12 per month or $129 a year. Or if you're a student or an educator, I'm a student. I'm registered Cochise College. I take classes there. I qualified as a student. I get it for $30 a year. It was, well, I got it. There's been a lot of controversy over whether it's worth it. For me, it was incredibly worth it just to get Motion. Well, I have Motion, but to get Logic Pro, $200 and some odd dollars. I'm still trying to learn how to use that one. Final Cut Pro, I use almost every day. And the new enhancements they put in it makes it worthwhile. They've added a lot of stuff to these, like Pages, Numbers, and Keynote. They've added stuff to it. The functionality is still the same, but they've added templates. They've added a lot of stuff. It also it says a subscription brings AI features, premium templates, image generation, and a content hub. And it's growing every day. So it's something to consider. It's not for everybody. And for me, $30 a year, boy, it was. $129 a year, not sure. Because I could have purchased Compressor for $50, which is the main one I want to use. But the more I'm seeing what they put into this, the more I'm leaning, especially with the AI adaptation. And after today's presentation, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
If I could chime in a little bit on specifically the productivity apps. If you're already a Mac user, the new ones you have to be running. Yep. Donation, please. No.
That's a good idea.
You have to be running, it works Mac OS 15, and you don't have to be running the latest version to use the newer productivity apps. And they are still free. To download the new versions, you can have both the old and the new side by side on your system. So you're ready to delete the old one, you'll get a little prompt. I did a quick email to the group message board about that. Kind of confusing because when you have them both or you open an old one and it says, there's a new version, download it, And then you get the new one, you open that, open that, and it says you can delete the old one. Well, you can, but you can keep them both if you want for however long you need it. The only thing that you don't get are the premium features, but everything else works exactly the same way it did before in those apps.
This was a biggie. A revamped Siri is now powered by Google AI. In an unprecedented move, Apple announced a multi-year deal with Google that will use Google's Gemini AI model to power the next generation of Siri and other Apple intelligence features later in 2026. What's going on is that Apple is having problems with its Siri, next generation Siri, the one that was promised to us. So they've teamed up with Google, who is leapfrogged over them. And rather than being competitors, they're now partners. What it means for us is we're going to get a much better AI through Siri. Now, Siri's pretty good, right? I think Siri's pretty good right now. I can go down the road and say, hey, Siri, I need to know about this. And she'll come back and tell me about it. I can tell Siri if you want to have fun, tell Siri to tell you a story or tell a joke. She'll do it. She'll go through and tell you a story. And you can say, tell me a short story, tell me a long story. Long story is about 10 minutes. And they are always very interested. Microsoft Teams, which is their collaboration tool, much like Messages, but on steroids, is rolling out some fun, quirky features that branded reaction emojis for meetings. They're actually trying to put fun into Teams. Because Teams, I don't know what's going on in the industry right now, because companies are cooperating with each other, which they never used to do. Microsoft and Google are making cross-form compatibility with Google Meet. I don't know if you guys have tried Google Meet or not, but I think it's a pretty decent. And if it keeps improving, it's going to rival Zoom on that direction. Google Meet, M-E-E-T. Android gets an AirDrop, similar to what the iPhone has, that sometime in 2026, rumor on the street is July, that you'll be able to AirDrop, which means if I want to send Barry a file, then all I do is go on my phone and say AirDrop it, give it the file, and it goes directly to Barry. Short distance communications for files, and it works very nicely. Android's getting that. Interestingly, that was one of the most requested features on the Android, is to have close range file sharing capability. It will allow something which I never thought I'd see, is AirDrop between platforms. An Android user will be able to send to me, I'll be able to send to an Android user or a Samsung user. AirTag 2 is out. For those of you who don't know what an AirTag is a little button that you can put with just about anything: luggage, purses, wallets, keys, remote control devices, wives, daughters, sons, pets, to know where they are at all times. It's great on luggage. There's an AirTag. The battery lasts for about a year. The new AirTag 2, after 5 years, we finally got a new one. It has a louder speaker, and I mean, it is much louder. Improved range that basically in a house, you had to be within about 20 feet of an AirTag to give it good reliability. Now it's about 75 to 100 feet, being able to pinpoint it. Same price, and there is a, Lord only knows why, a keychain option for $30. In my mind, it's about a $2 keychain option.
And you can get them for about that on Amazon.
Yeah. Why Apple came out, I don't know, but it's there. So if you're thinking about getting an AirTag, go for the AirTag 2. We don't know if the original AirTags are going to be discounted or not. Unclear at this time. But the AirTag 2 is better, I feel, is better to warrant getting those. And next month, we will discuss AirTags and Find My and how to use them. So those of you who are running into the problems, when I'm at a hotel and I walk out and I leave X in the hotel room, that I can quit getting those damn messages to say, freak out, you're leaving your stuff behind. And honestly, if you are still doing that, you're not getting the full advantage of what HomeKit can do. Because using the Apple TV or the HomePod as your hub allows you to use Matter devices, and Matter devices are amazing. I just put in a Matter motion detector. My old motion detector took 3 to 5 seconds to activate. Coming up, walking down a hallway, I would be at the end of the hallway before the lights came on. I put in a Matter motion detector. I take once into the hallway, the lights come on instantaneously with Matter. Because I have a setup in which I have 3 Matter and 1 non-Matter light bulb. The 3 Matter light bulbs come on instantly. The old one takes about 3 seconds. Matter allows you to use, if you're using any of the home services devices, whether it be Alexa, HomeKit, I can't remember the others right now. Look for Matter, because Matter allows you to use them across devices. I can use this motion detector that I bought. It's an Akara, which I think is one of the greatest companies out there right now. And I can use it on just about everything, as long as it supports Matter. And thanks to Matter, my wife is now as vehemently opposed to my motion detectors as she once was. Okay, she said, well, you just use a light switch. See, I do such things as when we leave the house, the temperature automatically goes down, all the lights are turned off, everything is turned off automatically until we come back home. As soon as it senses we're back home, everything comes back on automatically. So that way we don't walk into a cold home.
John,
Sir.
we're looking for a Windows phone. What it is, Microsoft isn't building a new phone. There is a company called Nixdog that does an Android phone that uses Linux apps. They announced they're going to work on a phone this year that will dual boot into Windows 11.
Oh, is that what it's all about? Oh, see, the article I read, it just said that a Windows phone is coming out.
Someone apparently, it's not that good at reporting, as someone said, it's an Android phone that could run Linux programs and dual boot into Windows. I hate modern journalists.
I'll go along with it. Okay, folks, tips of the month. And unfortunately, I have yet to come up with the music I like to do tips of the month. Barry, work on that since you did all the other musics. This one is mine. This is for everybody. We've all been faced with the fact that USB-C is out there, and we have devices that use USB micro, USB-A, USB micro
and mini.
Yeah, mini, thank you. Mini USB. And what am I going to, having to have all these cables? Well, here is a tip so you can get rid of all of your other cables and only use C. What you do is you go up to Amazon, because they have the best source, and get an adapter. Mini USB to USB-C, micro USB A to C. and you put the adapter in your device and leave it there. So whenever you need it, you just plug in your C cable and you only have to have one cable. I got rid of 23 different cables in my office. Now I just have 2 USB-Cs. So when I need to charge it, and I just leave the adapter in. That is how you can win that war. Because I mean, my daughter and wife have been going berserk about this. But you can also get a USB-C to Lightning adapter for the old iPhone. So it makes it so much easier. I think that's a great tip.
As you said, Amazon's a great source. If you happen to be on the road, check out Love's or any of the truck stop type places. They have fantastic selections of cable in it.
We now have a video, right, Barry? Video coming up on search photos on the iPhone and iPad. By the way, for those of you who have an iPhone 16 and above, the ability, there's a little button on the side that allows you to photograph something and it'll tell you what it is. That is the best feature. Yeah, it's part of the camera. You go up and you say, all right, you click it and it goes up and tells you what it is. I've used it to identify insects. I've used it to identify plants. I've used it to identify all kinds of stuff. But it's got to be an iPhone. Okay, so we're going to move in on this.
So this is what they said.
Yes, sir.
Is it a hardware thing or a software thing?
Yes.
Oh.
It's both.
No, because I was wondering if you had like an iPhone 14, you get upgrades, whether or not you get that feature.
No, because it has to have that side button.
Well, I think you can just go have the regular photo camera app will also give you a similar function.
But it is not as good as the one they have there. Yes, you can go in and take a picture of anything and go into photos and have it identify it. And that works quite well. That's how I found out that all the weeds in my front yard aren't weeds.
What he's talking about is it doesn't actually take a photograph. It just brings up the camera and so that you can point it at something.
So I can.
And then then it'll do its software thing to figure out what it is and give you information about it. But it's not actually putting a photo in your photo.
Somebody make a note, have me do a demo video on that. So I can show you what it is. Yeah, somebody needs to be taking notes for it.
If only you had a device.
You only had a device to type on.
It'd be the bottom one.
Greetings. This is Barry Midgordon, your Basmac geek, and I'm here with a special iOS and iPadOS tip for Valentine's Day 2026. Searching your photos library. Let's start with the iPhone. I'm going to launch the Photos app here. And real quickly, at the bottom right, you can see there's a magnifying glass icon. That's what you tap on to start your search. Since this is Valentine's Day, let's search for my sweetheart. The name is Lucinda. And it gives me a pop-up. There's 1,681 photos of Lucinda S. Midgordon, Sage Midgordon. I can narrow this down, however. If I want to see a photo from a specific year, all I have to do is type that year. Let's try 2020. Now there's 47, 48 results. Gives me top results, including a video. And then I can scroll through all the photos and videos where Lucinda is tagged. Now, you may wonder, how does it know it's a picture of Lucinda? Well, some time ago, back in the days of iPhoto, Apple added the ability to tag people in your photos. And I started doing that years and years and years ago. And then they built in machine learning where it started recognizing faces and associating faces that are in photos with specific people. And it just keeps on building. And now I don't even have to tell it. It's a picture of my wife because it knows her face. If I want it to be limited to just photographs, I can add the word photo, and then it narrows it down to just 25. Gets rid of all the videos. Try searching your photos library with all kinds of different parameters. You can search for flowers, trees, mountains, snow, oceans, people, pets. Let's see how it works on the iPad. You go over here to the iPad, launch photos again. This time, the search button magnifying glass is in the upper right corner. And let's type in Lucinda 2010 photos. No results. Oh, because I forgot the A in her name. 60 photos. Lucinda. 60 photos of Lucinda in 2010. Took more pictures of her 26 years ago than I did 16 years ago, apparently. Yeah, maybe some trips and stuff. But what if I want to find out if I have a photo of my sweetheart the year we got engaged? I'll change the date. There we go. And look at that. There we are. New sweethearts. Happy Valentine's Day. Try searching your photos library. By the way, these same parameters work on photos for the Mac. Type in any kind of search parameters you'd like and see what pops up. Happy Valentine's Day.
I just want to point out that even I learned something in that one. I did not know about the dates. You could do that.
Yeah, you can do that with anything.
Can you do it down to a day? April 17th, 2020?
Sure. You can narrow it down to a specific day.
I did
Or
not know
like
that.
if you took a trip to a certain location, you could type a person's name and then a location and
Oh,
find out all the photos that were taken at
Oh, yeah. I do that all the time with that type of searching.
combine parameters incredibly.
Oh,
detailed.
that's good to know. Very good, Barry. I appreciate it. But I still don't believe that was you and Lucinda.
Well, you don't have to believe it, but I hardly believe it myself.
I mean, because that doesn't look anything like you.
Well, if you look real closely at the nose, it's definitely the same nose.
Because these pictures of me back then, it still looks like me.
Yeah, but you don't wear a beard and a mustache.
That's true. That's true.
So
Okay.
covered it up.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, questions.
3 questions. What mic were you using? Was it your earbud?
Yeah.
And then labeling. You indicated that labeling is not required now.
Oh, in terms of the photos in the Photos app, yeah, you do have to. If you've never done it, you still have to initially tell the software who this is. So if you look at a photo in on any of the platforms,
I
Mac,
need to label it.
iPad, or iPhone, and you go to people, if it doesn't have anybody, you'll have to tell it. The easiest way that I've found to do it is actually on photos on the Mac. As you open up the photograph, just to view the one photograph in the interface, and there'll be little tags underneath all the faces. It'll still receive faces, and it'll have a little thing that says unknown, and then you click on that, and it allows you to type in a name. And then once you start telling the software who this is, then subsequent photo, it'll actually go back through eventually through all the photos and start tagging them. Yeah, right.
Last question. What iOS or OS does this work on?
You mean the face recognition stuff? And
Pretty far back.
yeah, I would think it
iOS 15.
goes back to when Photos was introduced.
Yeah.
So
Tagging has always been in photos. So it
it started before Photos. It started with iPhone.
should work on your phone.
Oh yeah.
Well,
You have a 7 still?
I have to go in and do the labeling, but I used faces back when.
Yeah, it was called Faces in iPhoto, and they changed it to People in Photos.
So iPhoto changed.
Yeah, iPhoto went away.
iPhoto's gone and it's now Photos.
Right.
Did iPhoto transfer to Photos?
It should have, yes.
Yeah.
Text.
They just like seamlessly happened.
When you updated your operating system, and I forget which one it was, where Photos came in, iPhoto would no longer, maybe not even run. But when you open Photos, it would prompt you. Do you want to convert or migrate your iPhoto library into Photos? And you have to say yes. And if you did that, then it was all done for it. Yeah.
Okay. A couple of tips on mail. If you get mail that you think is junk and is not, right click. Heck, I'll even show you. Let's go into mail. Yeah.
But they'll have to watch it.
We're going to take a mail message like here. If I thought this was junk, I come down, move to junk. That will move that sender to junk mail, and any messages coming in will treat it as junk. And if you have something in your junk folder that is yellow, if it's not yellow, this doesn't work. You right click on it and move it to inbox, and they'll take it out of junk. Now, on ones that are not yellow, you can move it to inbox, but it doesn't keep it from going here later. It's only if they're yellow. Now, I have not been able to find out why. So that's how you can stop your junk mail. Just right click on the message, and if it's junk, say move to junk folder. If it's in the junk folder and it's not junk, move to inbox. Yes.
When you get that message, say, remove it and report it. Does it report to anybody or that's just?
Oh no, that report goes to Apple and your service provider.
Yeah, and that applies to texts and phone calls. I think that's part of mail.
Not part of mail yet, but text, it does get reported to Apple, does go to whoever your service provider is, and they're compiling. And he knows when you get messages in now, it says potentially spam, potentially. That's because somebody's identified it as that. Another thing is what happened to Launchpad. Launchpad used to be an application on the Mac, would go up and allow you to launch an application.
When you opened it, it sort of looked like the iOS home screen.
Yeah, you had, all your applications. Well, it's gone now. It's been replaced by what Barry showed last month with the Spotlight search application. So if you're looking for Launchpad, I don't know a lot of people ever used it. I have one friend who freaked out because that was the only way he knew how to launch an application, was to go into Launchpad. When it disappeared, he didn't know what to do. So he called me up on a frantic call at 3:00 in the morning. He lives on the East Coast. Keeps forgetting. Of course, he says every time I text you, you always answer immediately, even if it's in the middle of the night. That's what happened there. We're going on to
Let's clarify a little bit. That's Mac OS, and that's with Tahoe. So if you still haven't upgraded to Tahoe, or if your Mac doesn't go to Tahoe, you still have Launchpad.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes. Launchpad, it's still there. It still works.
Just with the latest Mac.
Yeah. I actually prefer the Spotlight version.
I do too.
I think it works much, much better.
However, I've been using the launcher app since the beginning of Mac OS 10. Muscle memory just takes me to there. I don't even use it.
There is a new feature, you may not know about this one yet, on the Mac that they finally did something that we've been complaining about. If you go and delete an app through the Spotlight search, it actually goes in and deletes all the files associated with it, not just the one file. Because let's say that you go in and you move an application to the trash. All the auxiliary files that are associated with that application, which in some cases quite a bit, don't get moved. They're still sitting there. With Tahoe, if you delete an application through the Spotlight, it goes in and removes all of the application files. And if you move to trash in the applications folder, it does the same thing. I found that out by accident because going through and say, I don't need these hundreds of applications. Okay, we now come up with our Windows tip of the month using Windows 11 File Explorer by none other than Mike.
Hello everyone, my name is Mike McLean, and today I'm going to talk to you about... Hello everyone, my name is Mike McLean, and today I want to talk to you about using Windows 11 File Explorer. File Explorer is the method that Windows and Microsoft have provided in order to manipulate files in your computer. Getting to it is pretty easy. Go down here to the taskbar, you'll see a little folder icon here, then hover over it, and then it says File Explorer. A couple other places you might be able to find it is if you click on the Start menu, it's up here under the pinned apps. And if I click on the search bar, it's here under Top Apps. So there's a number of ways to get to it. And of course, if you had to, you can always type in File Explorer in the search bar and it'll bring right up. So let's take a look at this wonder of Microsoft. I open it up and it comes up on the home screen. Now, one of the neat things that they put in more recently in Windows 11 is tabbed browsing. So you'll notice that there is a little plus bar right here, a little plus icon. If you click on that, it will open up a second tab. Now, what's really nice about this is that you can then use this to move files between one place and another. So, for example, I have a file here. If I want to move it to someplace on the home screen, I click it up, pick it to drag it, it opens up that tab, and then I could drop it under one of these other systems right here. Now you notice that sometimes under this, under the context comment there, depending on what folder I'm looking at, it says move to or copy to. One thing to bear in mind when you're working with files in Windows, if you're dragging and dropping a file between folders that are on the same drive, like if they're both on the C drive, then by default, it will move it. If you're dragging and dropping files that are between two different drives, for example, between a network drive and the C drive, then by default, it will copy it. And this particular folder that says working papers is on another drive, so it wants to copy that by default. I don't actually want to do that, so I'll just leave that. One thing that I'll often do myself is I will do a right click, and you can't see me right click, but trust me, I'm doing that, and do a drag. And if I do that, then it will come up with a context menu here. And by default, it says copy here, but now I can tell it to move here if I want to do that. So I find that that's often very handy. So that's rather one of the neat things they put in there is the tab to browsing. Now let's take a look at what you see when you first open up the File Explorer. You'll see over on the right side, there is a section called Quick Access. And these are folders that I've pinned that I probably use quite a bit. Most of these are pinned by Microsoft for you when you first start, but you can always edit these yourself. For example, I have a couple of public access folders here that I've pinned, and plus my network icon so I can get around my network easily. And then down here are some of the files that I've been using more recently. Speaking of files, if you go down here all the way, you'll see that we have a recent files, things that I've opened up. Or I can look at my favorites, which I have none. What favorites means is if you go to a file and you right click on it, there is an add to favorites. If you do that, it adds a little star to the icon, and then it will show up underneath this favorites folder here. If you really need quick access. I personally don't need anything that fast. And also you can see if you've got any shared files out there. I only have one that I've shared with very recently. On the right side, or on the left side over here, if you look, I've got the home folder, which is what we were just looking at. We also have a gallery access, and this is something neat that they've added. Essentially, it's photo apps. The photo app it's been added into the File Explorer directly, so you can look at your photos in a much easier way. Or we've got OneDrive, and OneDrive is a very accessible here. This is all the stuff that's up on my network. Down below here, we have, as you'll notice, some of the same stuff that was in the home drive that's pinned there. They're pinned here as well. And then down below, things that are on my network, here is my computer Stargazer and the drives that are available on that. Now, you notice the different drive letters. Every Windows computer has a drive C. That is just the nature of the beast. C drives have been around forever. But you'll notice these others down here. My book, which is D, that is a removable drive that I have plugged into the USB port on my computer. Whenever you plug removable drive into your computer, and it can be a USB stick, it can be an SD card for your photographs, anything like that, you plug it in, and Windows is going to assign it a network letter number and letter, and you'll see it here. And then you can use that to move data around from one place to another. I also have my Google Drive mapped out here as well. I've mapped out one of my network drives, and it's showing my book down here again. And then here's my actual network. So these are all available there. Go back up to the home. Okay. One thing that's interesting is up here is the network address bar. You'll see it's there for the home. I'm going to go over here to Digital Blasphemy. And you see now it gives you a full network path. And this is a little more user-friendly than the old ones. But if you're old school and you like the old way of doing it, if you click over here anywhere in the blank area, it gives you the traditional Windows file path. Just see Digital Blasphemy. Another thing that's rather neat is if you take a file from here and say move it up here, you can actually drag it and drop it to a section of the address bar. So if I just want to copy this to Windows C, I just come here to where it says Windows C and drop it. I don't have to open up a whole nother tab just for that. So again, that's kind of neat. I have to be careful here when in my demonstration because I don't really want to move things around. So I'm looking to see if I've got that little can I do this bar. Otherwise, if I drop it, I'll create a link here. I'll do a copy there. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying desperately not to mess up my computer while I'm doing this demonstration. Okay, let's take a look again at the gallery. As I mentioned, this will tie into your photos. one thing that's neat is it's got a details pane over here. And if I click on this, it'll give me the details of everything about when I took this, all the stuff, all the photography information from when I did this, which is rather neat. If I look at collection over here, I've got it set to show all. I can set this to either get all the pictures that are off my OneDrive that are stored there, or I can choose to have it look at my iCloud photos, or both. But one thing I will mention is if you want your iCloud photos to show up on your OneDrive, you need to have the OneDrive app downloaded to your iPhone and have that turned on. And then it'll grab your iCloud photos if you've set it for that and put it into OneDrive. I can also come here to manage collection. And here's where I choose what my photos folders are. I can add some as well if I have particular folders that I wanted to access. So we got that. One other thing under the details pane is okay. One other thing under the details pane is we also have a share button here. So if you want to share this easily, it'll bring up okay, where do you want to share with, what tools, or do you want to send it to somebody else? So that's kind of neat. What else do we have here? Okay, what else do we have here? Go back to home. One thing that they've improved with Files Explorer is dealing with compressed folders. It used to just deal with zip folders. Now they changed it so it's also compatible with tar files, which is another version of a compressed folder, and also 7-zip, another popular compression format. So it'll actually work with any of those now. Okay. If I'm back at the home page here and I click on the little C-more thing here, the little 3 buttons, I've got options right here. Open that up and it opens up my folder options from the control panel. Here I can set several options for File Explorer. I can tell it to open each folder in the same window, which is the way I've got it, or I can set it so that it will open each folder in its own window, if I want it that way. I've got it set to double click in order to open instead of just single click. I've got a view option here, and all sorts of neat things I can tell it I want it to do here. And I can set it up to just deal with the folder I'm in now, or I can apply it to all folders. And I've got some search parameters here, which I'm not really concerned with right now. So again, this is under more options. And if you want to personalize the navigation pane, if you click anywhere that's on a blank area here, I've got it set up to show this PC and show network. You can also set it up to show libraries, which you probably don't want to do. Libraries is a deprecated method that Microsoft had of organizing your folders. It didn't move folders around, but it organized them for you logically, but it wasn't real popular and they don't really use that anymore. Or if I want to, I can actually set show all folders. So every folder that I've got will be over here on the side, which I don't really want that either. So I'm going to leave this the way it is right there. Okay, and let's see one other thing. Nope, I think that's all I've covered. I think I've covered it all today. Nope, I think that's all I've covered. I think I've covered it all today. So that is using Windows File Explorer. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. This is Mike McLean signing off, and have a good day. I was hesitating with at the end there, where the details button was. There was some way of bringing up a preview, and darned if I could figure out where it was. It's in one really hidden little place.
I mean, like open a big
Just
screen kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Barry's coming up with a share a favorite. Yes, Universal Clipboard on Apple devices. I was going to say, why don't we take a short break? So let's take 5 minutes, time to get to the bathrooms and back if you need them, get some more coffee. And we'll start up with Universal Clipboard. Okay, we're picking up where we left off, and we're going to have the video on the Universal Clipboard on Apple devices. Okay, we're going to be watching the video. So
Hey, it's me again, Baz McGee, Barry Midgordon. I'm here to share a Valentine favorite. One of my favorite things about the Apple ecosphere, the ability to copy and paste across devices using the Universal Clipboard. Now, the Universal Clipboard is a function of the continuity features in the Apple ecosphere. It's referred to as handoff. It has to be turned on. It's on by default, but if you don't know anything about it, You go to System Settings. This is on Mac OS, obviously. I'm running Tahoe. And in the General System Settings, there's an item here called AirDrop and Handoff. And this is where handoff has to be turned on. Allow handoff between this Mac and your iCloud devices. The other things that need to be turned on are each device has to have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi turned on, and all devices that you want to use across the universal clipboard have to be signed into the same iCloud or Apple account. Once all that is set up, it works pretty seamlessly and it's pretty awesome. It's almost like magic. Let me open up the Notes app here, and I'm on the Mac. You can see I have a note for screensaver emojis. I use a set of emojis in a particular screensaver setting, seasonally or holiday. So I'm just going to select these Valentine's Day emoji, and I will copy. And I'll switch over to my iPad. I will open Notes. I have a note for clipboard demo here, Universal Clipboard Demo, and I will paste. And there it is. I copied on the Mac and I pasted on the iPad. Who knew? And not only works with text, I mean, emojis are technically text characters, but it also works with images. Let me switch to the iPhone here, and I'm going to open the preview app. And let's open this image here. This is an image. I'm going to, I think I go to the share sheet. We're going to copy it using the copy tap button there. Now I'm going to switch back to the iPad, put in a couple returns. Now I'm going to paste, and it's pasting from my iPhone. Look at that. It's asking me to allow it. First time you do this, it's going to ask for permission. And there it is. There's the image that I pasted or that I copied from the iPhone. So Universal Clipboard allows you to copy from one Apple device and paste onto another just by switching back and forth, text, images, video as well. Try it. You'll like it. And again, happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, moving right along. Creator Studio. I'm going to very shortly, I've talked a lot about this already. First impressions, if you need the pro apps, definitely worth it. If you don't need the pro apps, not yet. I'm waiting for Freeform to see what they do with that. The iWork suite, Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, they've added to it, but not enough to warrant paying for it, in my opinion.
Go ahead.
Pixelmator Pro, very powerful. If you do not use Photoshop now, but want to get updated or upgraded, Pixelmator Pro is an excellent option for a lot cheaper. You're paying less for the entire suite than you pay for Photoshop.
In the previous version, these are available on the Mac App Store for $50.
Yeah, you can still get the old version of it. We have any questions? Any answers that you want a question to? Okay, we'll move right along. We're going to skip the break because we already took it and move into the feature presentation. I changed the title of this because going through it, I realized I was actually doing it for seniors because that's what we are. Now, does that mean you have to be a senior in order to get something out of this? No. I adapted it so it'd be more relevant to what we're doing. Now, I'm saying getting the best response of ChatGPT. What I am covering is applicable to any AI program out there. All of them. Right now, ChatGPT is probably the best. I actually am so enthralled with it, I took out the $8 a month subscription, and I think it's worth every penny of it. This entire presentation, ChatGPT assisted me in putting it together. Did it write it for me? Absolutely not. Did it help me? Unlike Barry, who can draw beautifully, I can't. I wanted images, and I told it what I wanted, what I didn't want, and it gave it to me. And did I get into arguments with it? Absolutely. The 3 better steps: ask better questions, refine the answers, and verify important info. Why are we talking about? Well, you guys requested it because AI tools are now everywhere. And how can you maximize their use? Or should you even be using them? You talk to my wife, she says absolutely not, because she views it not the way I do. And the most frustration comes using AI is how we ask it, what we tell it, how we treat it. And that's what we're going to talk about, how you should treat AI. Small changes in what you request can have huge results. First off, AI is not a search engine, though it can act as a search engine and is not an expert. It is a very rough first draft. Okay, imagine you are in the corporate world. You have an assistant. You tell your assistant, I want you to go out and research this topic, draft up a paper for me. This is a very common thing to do, and then I'll see if that's what I'm looking for. That's the way you treat AI. It is your assistant, and not a very knowledgeable assistant because it can make mistakes. Grad students, the same thing. So think about that. Don't expect it to be right the very first time. You have to keep telling it what you want and phrasing it so they can better understand. So you treat it as a conversation you're having with a subordinate. Sergeant Major and I treat them like they're a PFC and they don't know what they're doing yet. If you treat it as a contemporary, you'll be disappointed. How AI actually works, it predicts helpful responses from patterns. It analyzes billions of patterns. And your work, every time you do something in any of the AI engines, it keeps track of who you are and what you ask. And so it knows. Like the other day, I was going up and for a recipe. And it came back and told me, it said, since you really enjoy doing X, how about this? I said, well, my wife doesn't even remember that. It can come across as being very confident, but it's 100% wrong. And it did that the other day to me. It came up with a response. I said, hold it. No, I know that's not right. And do I go up and check what it comes back and tells me? Absolutely. How often is it wrong? I say, what, about 10% of the time? Now, right down here, I have the diagram. You ask it a question to the AI. It comes back with a rough draft. That's what you look at it is. And you go in and revise that rough draft. How good it does, the quality of the end result depends upon the quality of the questions. You ask a bad question, you'll get a bad answer. You keep refining the question. I did this to give you an example. I needed a background for a photograph yesterday. I was doing a portrait. And so I said, I want a background for a professional portrait for a middle-aged man. It came back and gave me some real nice ones, except it had the middle-aged man in them, which I didn't want. So I came back and I said, and I do not want a picture of the man in the photo. Same photos. And I went through and I said, okay, I don't like this. I do like this. I want a tree. I finally ended up with the exact backdrop I wanted. Could I have done that through stock photos? Absolutely. How long would it have taken me? Probably the better half of 2 hours. Using ChatGPT, I was done in 10 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
What you mentioned pictures, is that in basic chat GPS?
Yes.
Free?
Yeah, it's free. I use it all the time.
You get 1 or 2 images a day, in a 24-hour period. The $8 a month subscription, so far I haven't seen a limit. There may be one, but I haven't hit it yet. Yeah, Barry.
The full-blown thing.
I tried doing that.
It doesn't.
I've done, what we're saying with images to refine what it comes back with.
See, I tried doing that, and it doesn't give me anything.
This is how it works with me anyhow. When I only each at a time. Same thing. But then this is how it works with me anyhow. When I do the picture thing, it'll only let you do 2 pictures at a time of the same thing. But then there's just like a little bit of a time you have to wait, and then it lets you do 2 more. It isn't a whole day though. It's just a few minutes.
There doesn't seem to be any consistency on how that does. It sometimes makes me wait a complete day. It'll come back and say, you'll have to wait until X time.
Mine just told me I don't have to wait an hour.
Oh, good luck. Okay.
Greece. Safety said about Microsoft.
Yeah, I subscribe to Microsoft 365. So I have a Microsoft account, but I am paying a subscription for that. But I use that to log into ChatGPT. And it remembers my conversations. It keeps track of all that. And
What is a email associated with Microsoft 365?
yeah, just an email and a password. Well, I have a pass key now. Got it.
Well, see, I've been using for my Coach's college account. Maybe that
might be the
yeah, because it still won't let me use Copilot.
See, I may have to reevaluate that because I did the Microsoft because of helping Cinda with publishing her novel. And
She's written a novel?
published it several years ago.
Yeah.
But I thought she's writing a memoir. But the publishing industry standardizes on Microsoft Word files, which I could provide out of Pages on the Mac. But I was just doing it for that. I had the income to support it, but I haven't done anything with the Microsoft apps so long. I'm thinking about canceling that subscription next time it comes up.
Yeah.
So then I might think about paying for chat.
Okay. The one thing that a lot of people, especially seniors that I've talked with, they're afraid of AI, of what they think it will do. They think about the Terminator. They don't know what it is. First off, it's not human. It's not an entity. It is a computer program written by humans. Don't be afraid of AI. It cannot hurt you. It cannot come up out of the computer and strangle you. And don't assume it's always right. In fact, do the opposite. Assume it's wrong until you verify that it is right.
I had a situation where, okay, I'm a Windows person, okay?
Yeah.
I use Microsoft Copilot, and what happens is I use ChatGPT for, I forgot what the question was, and I asked the same question to Copilot, and it differs from ChatGPT. I said, well, I thought, and I mentioned what ChatGPT said, and it said, yes, and it subs, for the time. Then it's a matter of like, I want to get the other to finally get the truth. It did not say that.
Oh, yes, that works. I've done the same thing. Now, I will tell you, if you're on a Apple platform, writing tools down at the bottom of that menu, Compose is ChatGPT. And so far, I've never found a limit on what it'll do, except it will not generate video. And I've asked ChatGPT, I said, if I give you a book, can you generate a video from that book? Yes, but you need the paid subscription to do it. It will generate, and I'm almost thinking of going a month to give it an entire book and get the video and actually end up the video, because right now there are a number of classics that have never been done right. The most famous one is Beowulf, the oldest English book out there. All the movies of Beowulf are terrible. They don't get it even close to being right. Well, I want one where it is correct, that we don't get these director's interpretation of what they think they're reading, and obviously they've never been educated beyond the first grade level. Moving right along, now we're getting into the 9 steps. This is a practical guide. When I publish this to YouTube, I will have this guide attached, but you can write it down if you want to. Step number 1, set your expectations first. Now, there are going to be demos through this, and we're going to go up and actually do this. AI assists your writing. It is not an expert, and it can be wrong and incomplete. The best way to do it is write something up first, give it to. That was me. It does do that as a good example. I didn't catch that one.
It doesn't check your spelling.
No, when it generated these slides, I didn't catch a misspelled writing. These are all generated by ChatGPT, all the slides.
So it's evident that it can be.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Which maybe the reason why it did it, I don't know. But is not always an expert, but you give it the information and then you tell it what please proofread this. I want more detail. Add more detail to it. Or generate images from this.
Going back to your example about the background, feed it a compositional,
Oh, absolutely.
how the composition should be.
Well, one thing I did is I hand drew thing I wanted to 3D print. I hand drew it. I gave it to ChatGPT and I said, create me an STL file of this for 3D printing. I honestly thought I couldn't do it. It came back and asked me a bunch of questions, about 4 or 5 questions, and it did it. And it actually worked. I was amazed that it could do that. Step number 2, the formula for getting better questions. Tell the AI engine who they should be. You are my assistant. You are a tax preparer, which I wouldn't do. But what role are they supposed to be playing? What is their position? Say what you want clearly. Act as if you're talking to a 5-year-old. Explain it explain it like you're talking to your kids at any age. Give a context. Why are you asking this question? What do you plan on doing with it? Say how you want the answer. This is what I want done, and I want you to do it in a PowerPoint presentation or a Microsoft Word document. I want a video of this. Step number 2 is the most important step. Okay, now once you get your answer back, go and refine what you asked. Take a look at it, examine it, and say, all right, is this what I wanted? Or, example here, can you suggest specific dog breeds that are known to be gentle and good with children? Question, I'm looking for a dog for my family. Not a very good question. I am looking for a dog as a means of protecting my family from intruders. What is the best breed I can use that is trainable, easily, short-haired? So, I mean, that's how you refine it. Show that iteration is normal. You go in and you don't be afraid to say, hey, I don't understand what you just told me. I did that the other day. I was asking a question on quantum physics, and it came back with an answer I did not understand. Okay. So I went in and said, hey, dumb it down a bit. I don't understand. And it came back and said, oh, I can understand that because this is a very technical answer that most people outside of being physicists would not understand. I said, I'm not a physicist. And it came back and rewrote the entire thing to where I could understand it. I'm still having trouble with some of the math. Give me an example. Focus on, reiterate what you want it to do. What are you not pleased with? Don't treat it as your superior. Treat it as your inferior. This is what I want you to do. You're not doing it. Unfortunately, it doesn't come back in court cases against you.
Someone said, members say please and thank you because they may take over the world.
Be specific beats being polite. You don't have to be polite. It's better to be specific. Now, you'll find out these engines, especially ChatGPT now, is very polite. But you don't have to go out of your way because remember, this is not a human. It has been trained to give you human-like responses. I always come back and say, thank you. You did a very good job on that one when it does. And it remembers that. Can you maybe help me with some ideas? Give me some practical examples. That is what you need to ask it. Can you help me with ideas? That's a little vague. Teach boundaries to reduce hallucinations. What is that word? Hallucinations? That is a term used, I had to look this one up myself, for false answers from an AI engine are called hallucinations. I learned something in this. I did not know that. Add limits to your prompts. If you're unsure of what it's telling you about, tell it, I don't understand that. Only answer using publicly available information. Now, this is where it depends on what you're looking up, if that is important, but don't be afraid to do that. And tell it, do not guess. I want valid answers. I want to know where you got it from.
Yeah, you can ask it to cite source.
And now almost automatically, you are getting the citations, where it's coming from, according to X, especially if you're using DuckDuckGo search engine.
Yeah.
When you ask it a question, the AI engine, it comes back and gives you specifically where it got the information from.
Comes up with serial reasons as and so is you say I want citations.
Well, and that's part of double checking it too. You can go to the source and see it, but
I want the correct, accurate citation.
well, that's part of you checking it too. You can go to the source.
Yes. And you could also tell the engine, the AI engine, if you don't know the answer, say, I don't know, instead of making up something, because it's trying to please you.
It's trying to be, we're trying to train it, right?
This is a good one. Use it as a second brain, not to make decisions. If you use it to make decisions, it could be wrong. Good uses, drafting emails or letters. Great for doing that. I use it all the time when I want a more professional, but what I find out lately, it doesn't change much of my stuff now. Apparently, what it's done, this is on writing tools on the Mac, it has gone through and analyzed all my documents that I've created and has learned my writing style. And so when I go and feed it something, it's going to look at it as if I wrote it, which I did. And so it doesn't make a whole lot of changes. It does change some things, which 90% of the time I said, that's perfect. That's better than what I could have said. It is great for summarizing long documents. I've been using this feature a lot. I don't have time to sit down and read 200 pages. So tell me, do I need to read this or not? And sure enough, I go in there and say, oh, okay, that is something I want to read. I'll go through and read it. Or no, that's not what I thought it was. I have a problem with this next one, creating checklists. Yes, it will create a checklist for you. It sometimes doesn't understand what you're using the checklist for. And so you have to be very careful, very specific of what you want the checklist about. It does do a great job of creating a grocery list out of a bunch of recipes that I feed it. It will comparing options, it'll rewrite confusing language, it will translate. And so far, it's translation engine. I've had some good luck with that, especially Japanese, because I've had a problem with the Apple translator not being able to translate some of the scam letters that I get out of Japan. I have no idea how I got on that, but I'll get these emails in, they're completely in Japanese. And when I get them translated, it's a scam. Obviously, it's a scam. Okay, because I do not have a Tokyo Bank account. What you don't use this for, medical, financial, or legal. Now, what you can do is say, what is this disease? And it'll go through and tell you. what is this medication used for? They'll go through and tell you. Not, should I take this medication? Don't use it for that. Go in.
What are the side effects of medication?
Yes and no. Yes, you can, but then I go up and check it to make sure. Side effects, I like to talk to the pharmacist first. Financial decisions. Don't use it to invest in the stock market. I know some people who have, especially don't use it for Bitcoin, not for the stock market. You could ask it to find trends for you, but not, should I invest in this stock? I know people have done that. Don't ask for legal advice. You can ask it, what laws cover this in the state of Arizona? Or are there laws against this in the state of Arizona? Or what counties require open carry permits? You could ask it that. Comes back pretty accurate, but not, I'm about ready to be arrested. What should I do?
Who's can I?
No, actually, there is a ICE incident report in which they actually did that. They asked the AI engine what they should do to avoid being arrested by ICE. And I don't know which engine it was. The response they gave back put them right into the hands of the ICE agents. It put the perpetrators in the hands of the ICE agents rather than avoiding them. Show how context changes answers. You say, what is the best smartphone? That's pretty vague. But you can ask it, what is the best smartphone for a senior with limited vision and hearing? That's a good question. I am retired. What is the best smartphone for me to use for normal conversation, telephoning, and text message? So you won't clarify the questions so that what this all could be. And let's put Xi context, okay? Now we're gonna have some fun. Okay. We're gonna go up and we're gonna open ChatGPT. I'm gonna call this okay. Is there any particular thing that you guys would like to know about? Tonight is Valentine's Day, and I want to make a special dinner for my wife, and she loves shrimp and steak. Create a nice menu for a 3-course meal. See what it does.
First course, garlic butter. Well, that's kind of grip with little white wine. That's good.
First course, garlic butter, shrimp with lemon and white wine. That's good. Oh, no, just wait. The main course, pan-seared filet mignon. Okay, ooh, my wife loves asparagus. And dessert, okay, chocolate dip. Okay, this actually looks pretty good. Little romantic touches. Warm the plates, dim the lights, put on a playlist she loves. Okay, if you like, I can tighten this up into a cooking timeline so that everything lands perfectly without chaos. Oh, this is what, okay.
That's how long it's going to take to prepare it.
Yeah.
Those that type.
Yes, tighten it up and create complete recipes. They're assuming the dinner's at 7 p.m. Adjust times as needed. Master timeline. We start at 3:30. Relaxed prep start.
Assuming you already have all this.
Yeah.
Now we could ask for the shopping list.
Ooh. Here's the appetizer recipe.
Did you have it modify the timeline by mentioning that you have no prior experience?
Just see what it says.
I don't know how to cook. That's the timeline appropriately. How do you turn on the stove?
I told it that the person preparing has little experience and I need a grocery list. Okay, and it did exactly what we wanted it to.
Started later. Or you started at 3. Yeah, right.
There's a reason for that. Okay. The more experience you have, the easier it is for you to stretch it out. Because you know what's coming up. The least experience you have, it has to tighten it up so that you don't get frustrated. You learn that from doing a lot of cooking. The risotto starts early because risotto is extremely difficult. It's adjusted all the times.
Did they dress the table?
Here's the grocery list.
Always use a thermometer.
It's the grocery list.
Don't trust eyesight.
It takes, by the way, this is a cooking. Always use a thermometer when cooking. Don't trust eyesight. Use a good thermometer. we have our entire meal planned out, step-by-step guide. And you notice how I kept refining the questions and asking them? That's how you do it. Is there any other topic you guys like to see about? I am planning a trip to Santa Fe, New Mexico. New trip will be 5 days, includes driving time. Suggest places along the route to stop and where I should go in Santa Fe.
Let's see what it does.
I and my wife are very interested. History. Let's see what this
I
does.
just saw some case that indicated that a lot of the AIs,
You notice how
under settings, you can set it up so they're not quite as syncophatic as they are now.
oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. It made a big mistake. It took me through Las Cruces, stopping Tombstone. Mesilla? I've never been to Mesilla.
Ever been there?
No.
The consequences of the hot spring.
Las Cruces to Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Truth the consequences in the hot springs. Albuquerque to okay.
Yet.
Really? I've never heard the Turquoise Trail. I'll have to look that one up. Santa Fe deep dive. I've been to all these places in Santa Fe. George O'Keefe. Oh, that is a bad itinerary. Wow, this is actually a really good itinerary. I'm impressed. I don't agree with it all, but there's places on here that I've not been to. And you notice it gives me pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do is one more thing.
Start with that, and what should I do for a road 66?
Oh, yeah.
This is the centennial of Route 66. Road trip. Start with that. What should I do for a 6?
Okay. Is this helping, by the way? Are you guys? Okay, good. One. Okay. Oh, this is great. You're sitting on one of the best preserved stretches. That's true of the Mother Road. You could do a really memorable 3 to 5 day family loop. Oh, okay. Where we're going to take King. Wow. I'd show this to Jane. Williams Grand Canyon. Okay, Kingman. I didn't show this to Jane. We're going to do this one. Yeah, this one, the caverns, those are hard to find. They're not where you think they are. And this right here, is the Kennedy underground cavern in case of nuclear war.
We haven't been past Kingman. Really.
Kingman, Kingman's great. Either will we. Okay, this is going in the other direction.
If you want to go big.
Yeah, let's do the whole order. Talk about Santa Monica.
That was pretty complete on that brother's base.
Yeah, it was.
Now it's actually asking for iteration.
Wow. Okay, that was pretty complete on that rather vague.
It's actually asking for iteration.
Yeah. Oh, it loves to do that. As a matter of fact, the biggest problem I had creating this presentation was getting him to narrow down. Okay, quit asking me, how many changes do I want? Okay, and 90% of the time it came up, what I didn't do a good job is proofing the slides real closely. I caught most of them. I missed writing.
One of the things that I did actually had a meat, but I'm afraid I didn't want to start, but I knew the song Canada's red. It actually had a caterpillar from me to the other scientific picture of me. It actually had dates on that telling anything about the Canada's early.
Because that's all the pictures you put up on Facebook. You and your candle booths.
Yeah. Can you look at it?
But that kind of vague because that's what I do about me. Sits on.
Because you put up on Facebook.
Yeah, no, but
Nice little caricature.
Ooh, that one. Caricature is caricature.
Yeah, caricature. Let's see what it does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got maker fires, 3D printing.
So let's go back. That's good to know.
Yeah. What does it do with your picture once you upload it? I mean, does it delete it so that your privacy is maintained? Yes. Okay.
It does not use, at least ChatGPT. I cannot speak for others. ChatGPT does not use your information to train itself. It uses information from other places. Now, it will use that on your account. Like if I had uploaded an image of me, it would have remembered that and used it. Let's go up. Number 8, encourage uploading or pasting content. Paste letters and ask, explain this. Paste instructions, ask to summarize. Paste an email and ask, make this friendlier. By the way, all 3 of these are built into writing tools. Here is a text, please do this. Here is a picture, please do this. Don't be afraid to give it information. You don't have to do all the typing, and you can get some really great results. Notice that all these graphics are consistent, okay? That's one of the things I asked it to do, to make them. Now, interestingly, before I got the paid version of ChatGPT, I did not have all the images, and I had to go out and I used Image Playground by Apple to create the images. While those images were really good, they're not what I wanted. Okay, they were a completely different feel. So I came back and it remembered the images I created. It went through and gave them to me. The bearded dude is Barry. He doesn't know that.
Yeah, there is too much hair.
So
Well,
yeah.
Too much hair. No.
it created him, and I said, hey, he looks okay.
Got a very interesting double jointed.
Yes, you notice that. Yes. Those type of things I left in, okay? Teach verification as a habit. This is the final step and the most important step. Does this make sense? Does it cite real sources? Would I trust this without AI? Would I trust this without AI? And I'm saying that again. If you were getting this from an assistant, would you accept it? Just because AI did it doesn't make it right. Question everything. And the last one, can I confirm it elsewhere? That's huge.
Through AI.
Yeah. I co-piloted her.
Yeah. Or do a standard Google search.
Which is AI.
No, Google search is not AI at all. There's an AI attachment to it, but the search itself uses standard search criteria because you get page after page after page of URLs to go and check out.
Find out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. That's the AI component. But you still get and you have to go through step by step to find out what you're looking for. Like I did one, I don't even remember what the search was. It did not give me the results I wanted. It gave me something completely different. And so I tried re-asking the question, the search, and I still didn't get it. So I said, to heck with this. I went to ChatGPT, said, this is what I want. And we had to go about 3 or 4 iterations. He finally gave me exactly what I was looking for and said, I could only find 3 examples of this. I did not realize it was that limited. No wonder my Google search wasn't paying off. Questions and answers. Do you have questions? You got to have some questions. Yes, sir.
I know you're talking about clarification, verification, iteration. Is there a way to abbreviate it? Like, for example, can you ask ChatGPT or would Copilot say about this so that by the time it comes back, you've saved time on that iteration cycle?
I don't know because the two engines are totally separate, and I don't know they can communicate with each other.
Did you hear about Boltbot?
What?
Boltbot.
No.
In the last month, one programmer put together a social media site for AIs.
I understand key results are hilarious. Those kind of block when to lose. It's merely let the bounce balance crazy. You're busy, sir. I understand the results are hilarious and it doesn't take up all that long to win an hallucination. And there we it's fairly hilarious. And of course there's a lot of jokes about it. And they're planning to take over the world. And there we are.
If you want something really hysterical, there is a YouTube video up there where they had 2 phones that had robots talking to each other and carrying on a conversation. It was ridiculous. I hate it when I get these robots answer the phone because some of them you think you're talking to a human. It is until they start not answering your questions. Okay, no more questions. Yes, ma'am.
It's twofold. The first part is who controls the content of the AI responses to the question?
I don't understand the question.
Okay, so you generate the answers
Right.
to your, okay. Is there anyone that monitors the accuracy of that? Okay.
Not at all.
So okay.
That's up to you. That's your job. You're the boss.
Okay. So nobody monitors the accuracy of those content.
No, not at all.
Okay, so it's just a generated response based on your questions. Okay. And
Is it-
parameters?
Yeah.
It's trained.
It is trained. It goes out, absorbs billions of pieces of information. And then the program has been designed to answer your question with what it knows. But no one checks on the content for accuracy. That's your job.
The companies might monitor how the algorithm is working, depending on how it's responding. Grok, which is Elon Musk's AI for X, is well known for, if you ask it, what do you think of Elon Musk? Oh, he is the greatest, absolutely best thing in the world.
Now, I will tell you with I haven't used Grok yet. I had a very difficult time with Grok. It did not like me. With ChatGPT, it brings up a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you give a number of thumbs down, you will get an email from the ChatGPT team asking you for more information. Or I've had both of these happen. Or the ChatGPT engine will come back and say, what was wrong with my response that you didn't like it? And that is used as training material. I had that happen. Yeah, but what was wrong with what I gave you back? In this case, I said, you're very inaccurate. He said, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I know what it was. Oh, geez. I told it to generate slides. Took and opened up the PowerPoint presentation, and it was empty. There were no pictures in it at all. And I went back to it and said, hey, I told you to give me images. You didn't give me images. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right. And went back and did it correctly. That's happened to me a couple of times where it didn't do it right. And I go back and tell it, hey, you screwed up. And I want this, this, and this. I asked you to do this, and you didn't do it. Like I said, treat it as a 5-year-old child.
I do have a question, and I'm sure it's related, but I just got an update recently to my Alexa, and I didn't ask for it. It just happened.
Yeah, it's going to everybody. You know about Alexa Plus.
I do.
Yes.
And I have the original. I think it's the first dot that ever came off the line. And she is so smart. The last Alexa, I think she had to retire because she could not answer any questions at all. Okay. But this one is very communicative.
It is somebody AI. Yes.
And okay, so she's AI.
Yes.
Okay. And who's her source?
You'd have to ask Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
The internet.
Well, and she was rooting for the Seahawks last Sunday. And honest to God, I thought that was hysterical. And because I asked her, give me the odds on the game. And she said, well, I really don't, this one's favored. And at the very end, she said, but I'm really hoping that Seahawks win. Which is, it was kind of funny because she had like almost a personality. And it's because of where she's located.
I have the original Echo when it was in beta, very first one. And that one has not changed. But yes, the new Echo or the new Alexa is very chatty, very friendly. The voice has changed so that she's very, yes, very animated. Yes, the new Lisa is very chatty, very friendly. The voice has changed. She's very good. Yes, very
Animated. She asks additional questions of you of the original question. She's pretty good.
It keeps trying to engage me in conversation.
I really like it. I'd like to see that.
Speaking of that, for those of you who don't use Siri a lot, with iOS 26, Siri's voice has changed. It's a lot more human-like.
This is what it made of.
Okay, please send me that. I want to include it in the video. And it has become a lot more user-friendly. Yes, Siri. Not as much as we were hoping for. The Alexis one, the new Alexa is more what Siri was supposed to become, but hasn't yet.
It's going to be, they were hoping 26.4 if you win the new conversational contextual Siri. It's been putting back.
Yes,
On the Alexa, I have the Echo, whatever the latest one. I ask it to set an alarm, and I set the alarm. Everything else I ask for.
I've heard other people say that same thing. I just used it today to get up.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
It does not. Because I have the latest one, but I just had the X with
Yes.
no problem. But now today, it cannot set. It will not set.
I just told it last night. I told it set an alarm for 6:30 tomorrow morning.
Is that like I have the channel with Echo Show?
I've got one of the early dots.
This is the latest one.
You don't know so.
Yes.
She be look pick go show. That's the way. Look, you're sick. Oh, sorry. Instead of what was that? Everything else has to do. So it's set it.
Have you asked her why can't you set an alarm?
Next.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what happens. Okay, any other questions?
Usually what using Ring to find your pet.
Oh, sure.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
yeah.
Where if you upload a picture of your pet, apparently, then we'll use the Ring to look for your pet. If it wanders past somebody's doorbell, we'll alert you.
No, I did.
It took about 5 seconds for people to figure out. You can use that to find dogs. You can use that to find Ring to look for your pet. Then it took about 3 days for Amazon to say, okay, we're going to disable that for us. And something just happened yesterday. They said, we're also discontinuing the contract we had coming up to Flock. We are not, they were going to put the Ring network and the Flock network together.
Yeah.
Something just happened. And they said, yeah, we're going to back up and doing that. The contract we are coming up with Flock. Good. You're not, they were going to put, oh, you need to be reading the local news. Yeah. Flock is a camera network that started off as an automated license plate reader, and that's how they still advertise it. However, it does all sorts of other things. Uses AI now. It will spot the make of the car, any distinguishing characteristics, decals. I'm not sure if it can spot the driver or not. It's used for, it can be used for wide surveillance. And we have about half a dozen in service. I'm not sure if it's, but the county, yeah, they've been put up. The main intersections, Fry and Coronado, Fry and 99.
Yeah, exactly.
Cruise, it serves. Find those, then put up the main intersection, Fry and Fry and 99.
Yeah, I've seen the camera. I didn't know they were flock because they plan on putting those in, what's the state for traffic violations, speeding.
And they're not all that secure. Turns out that their cameras were in the clear. If you knew how you could basically get in there and then get into the database, search for if anybody had searched for your license plate, and kind of stuff. So they've had all sorts of contracts that work with law enforcement, providing more information with this plate number. It's kind of a mess. Oh, that's process belong. Your information is like. Any other questions? It's kind of a mess. Oh, that stuff is bad.
Sounds like the thing that we're concerned about.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, folks, it's the end of the meeting. We'll see you next month for How the Internet Works. Thank you all and have a great St. Valentine's Day.